turning ordinary conversation into high energy conversation. So obviously you've got to use high energy questions. What I would suggest is that you want to increase the percentage of conversation about business issues. So one of the things that we hear from a lot of our clients, professionals, lawyers, accountants, is, look, I have all these friends, but I don't really, they're my social context. I really don't talk much business with them. How do I get there? Well, the short answer is you have to have more business discussions. You're not asking for business, but you want to ask more questions that allow you to learn more about their business. So just today, I had a conversation with one of my clients on a coaching phone call where, you know, he was going to make an effort at learning more about what one of his friends, who has really shown an interest in deepening his connection with my client, and the effort would be on finding out more about his business. And he was too quick to want to go to, well, how do I turn this into business? You're going too quickly. What you want to focus on is learn more about their business, become more of a business advisor to them, ask lots of business questions, and over time, organically, months and years down the road, you end up with a much stronger relationship. In fact, actually, there was an example of a client of mine who was actually at his son's sock hop, and he was a chaperone, and he had gone through our program, and he said he was standing up as chaperone at this sock hop, this dance that his teenage son was at, bored to death, and he was, you know, 2 minutes into it, and he is standing next to another father who's also a chaperone who says, so, what do you do? And my client was so desperate to liven things up that he took to heart something I had said in the session, which is anytime you hear a question like that, what do? You turn it into a high energy question. So he didn't answer what he did. He was a lawyer, a litigator actually, but what he did is he said, well, he answered what he was working on right now that he really loved and really enjoyed. That quickly led to a very high energy conversation. And as he put it later, if nothing else, the night flew by. But it didn't stop there, because in the final analysis, each of these two people, my client and this other person who happened to be an engineer, ended up exchanging business cards. From that, a relationship was formed, all because he chose to turn a low energy conversation or an ordinary conversation into a high energy conversation. And they exchanged business cards. He kept up with this engineer, and 2 years later, it actually resulted in a referral from the engineer for an actual piece of litigation that my client was able to handle. We are literally surrounded by those kinds of opportunities. And as a result, we just don't take those opportunities to the right level or to the right place. What we don't do is really try and deepen the connection. You know, we're too quick to try and monetize it when what the goal of all of this is to start and deepen relationships.